Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into one of the most talked about developments in recent political and legal news. Donald Trump signing a bill that orders the Department of Justice to release the long-hidden Jeffrey Epstein files. This is a topic that has sparked massive curiosity, controversy, and speculation for years. And now the prospect of seeing these documents come to light is stirring up even more discussion. In this video, we're going to break down what the bill actually does, why it matters, what could really happen next, and why this moment is bigger than just one signature on a piece of legislation. The bill that Trump signed requires the Justice Department to release unclassified Epstein-related documents within a set period of time. These documents include investigative reports, internal memos, communications within or involving the DOJ, logs of Epstein's travel, details about his detention, and even information connected to people who may have been associated with him. For the first time, the public could get access to materials that have been sealed away for years. This is huge because Epstein's case has always been wrapped in secrecy, high-profile names, and unanswered questions about how far his network of power and influence really went. Trump's decision to sign this bill didn't happen quietly. He had previously pushed back on the idea of releasing the files, calling parts of the Epstein discussion a distraction. But once the bill passed Congress with overwhelming support, he signed it and made a very public announcement. The way he framed it was particularly interesting. He suggested that the release of these documents might expose political opponents or uncover associations that could damage public figures. This instantly added a political charge to a topic that already carries enormous weight on its own. The bill itself forces the DOJ to make the records public in a way that's accessible. That means searchable, downloadable, and straightforward for the public to explore. But even with this requirement, there are still limitations. Certain types of sensitive information can be redacted or kept confidential. This includes anything that could reveal the identity of Epstein's victims, anything involving minors, and anything that could interfere with ongoing investigations or legal processes. These restrictions make sense from a legal and ethical standpoint, but they also create room for debate. Some people feel these exceptions could be used to hide information, while others believe they're necessary to protect survivors and the integrity of the justice system. What's really important to understand here is how deeply the Epstein case cuts into public consciousness. Epstein wasn't just another criminal. He was wealthy, well-connected, and known to socialize with extremely powerful people across politics, business, entertainment, and global influence. From the moment his crimes came to light, the conversation has centered not only on what he did, but on who else might have been involved or aware of his activities. When Epstein died in 2019 while in federal custody, the situation exploded with theories, disbelief, and demands for transparency. Many didn't trust the official explanations. Many believed that crucial pieces of the story were being hidden. That distrust has only grown over time. Because of that, this bill represents a potential turning point. For Epstein's survivors, who have fought for years to see justice done fully and openly, this could finally offer some answers. It could reveal patterns, information, or connections that were never acknowledged publicly. It could offer clarity about how Epstein operated for so long and how he built a network that allowed him to exploit young girls while facing remarkably little consequence for years. But at the same time, people are understandably skeptical. Even though the law requires transparency, The flexibility built into the redaction process could limit how revealing the final release actually is. Some critics worry the DOJ could classify large sections as ongoing investigation material or protected information, leaving the public with documents that only provide a partial picture. There's also concern about how organized and user-friendly the release will be. If the files are dumped in a chaotic or poorly formatted way, it could make it difficult for journalists, researchers, and the public to understand what's in them. Another layer to consider is the political side of this story. Trump's language surrounding the bill suggests he sees this as a way to draw attention to figures he considers political enemies. That alone has intensified conversations on all sides. Some see this as a genuine push for truth and accountability. Others see it as a strategic way to shift public focus, create scandal, or pressure political rivals. The timing, the messaging, and the political climate all add complexity to an already delicate subject. The Justice Department now has a tight timeline to prepare these documents for release. That means officials have to review thousands of pages, determine what can and cannot be shown, redact sensitive information, and set up a system for public access. After the release, the department must also provide a report explaining what was withheld and why. That report may become just as important as the documents themselves, because it could reveal patterns in what the DOJ chose to hide. Once the documents are out, however complete or redacted they may be, the real analysis begins. Reporters, investigators, lawyers, survivors, researchers, and the general public will start examining them. New questions will emerge. Long, debated rumors may be confirmed or disproven. The release could trigger new legal action or public pressure for additional transparency. It could also reshape the conversation around Epstein's connections and the institutions that failed to stop him sooner. It's also possible that the documents, even when released, may not contain the dramatic revelations people expect. Sometimes the truth is messy, fragmented, or more bureaucratic than sensational. But even if that's the case, the release represents a shift toward openness in a case that has been marked by secrecy from the beginning. It sends a message about accountability and the public's right to know what happened behind closed doors. What happens next will depend on several things: how fully the DOJ complies with the law, how much information is redacted, how the public reacts, and what journalists and investigators can uncover. It's one thing for documents to be released. It's another for them to be understood, analyzed, and used to pursue truth or justice. We may see a wave of reporting deep dives, documentaries, and legal discussions once the files are available. No matter what comes out of this, one thing is clear: this moment is historic. It's a rare instance where bipartisan agreement, public pressure, and political interest collided to force the release of documents tied to one of the most disturbing and mysterious criminal cases of the modern era. Whether the release brings closure, more questions, or more controversy, the impact will be felt for a long time. Thank you for sticking through this deep dive. This is a topic that affects public trust, legal transparency, and the lives of survivors who have waited far too long for answers. I'm curious where you stand on this. Do you think the DOJ will release meaningful, revealing information? Do you think political motivations are shaping this moment? Do you believe the truth will finally come out? Or do you think the most important details will remain sealed? Share your thoughts below. And if you want updates as soon as the files are released, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this story is far from over.